Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Excel Sessions, and this is fourth video in continuation of VBA sessions. Before starting, would like to thank everyone for watching videos and appreciating the content and subscribing the channel. Till last session, we have added functionality to show details, clear content, add and delete button. In today's session, we will cover these topics and will add functionality to search, modify and delete button, and we will add validations also. If you are watching my video first time, I will recommend to see these two videos to get understanding of macros recording and how to start writing macros. The path of videos are added in the description section. We know how to write sub procedure and function. So today we will learn how to write custom functions and how to use it. Go to VBA editor and to create a function, type keyword function, function name, first name and press enter. Now here first name is the function name. Make sure you are following these rules for sub procedure or function name. Now the question is, what is the difference between function and a sub procedure? So both sub procedure and function perform some action and can take parameters, but only function can returns value. Sub procedure can't return a value. Second, we can't execute a function as macro, means we can't assign a function to a button. So in the user form, right click on a button and select assign macro. Only sub procedure names are visible. Function names is not listed. To execute both sub procedure and function from VBA editor, place the cursor inside function or procedure and press F5. Now we are creating a function first name which will take full name as an argument and will return the first name. Now to declare the argument, after the first name within parenthesis type variable name full name as and the data type. Now this function will return the first name which is also a string. So after closing the parenthesis, type as string. So in this line, the argument full name is of type string and the return value of this function is also string type. Now remember, there is no need to declare this variable using dim keyword. To get the first name from the provided full name, we will use left function. To use any built-in function, first check whether the function is available in VBA or not. So type VBA dot, it will show all the functions available. Type left, which is also available. So we can use left function. Open bracket, full name is the string, comma, for length, we need the location of the space in the full name, and for that we will use find function. But again, we will check whether the find function is available in VB or not. So the find function is not available, and to use find function in VBA, we will use worksheet function. So type worksheet function dot find open bracket to find the location of space, comma, need to check space in the full name, closing bracket for find, -1 because we don't need the space in the first name, closing bracket for left function. Now the left function will give you the first name. Now this first name we will store in the function itself. So type function name equals to, so remember, the function name must be used to specify the return value, and second, if the function is available in VBA, we can use the function directly. So I'm removing VBA, and if the function is not available in VBA, then we have to use worksheet function dot. We can call this function from another sub procedure or we can use in Excel also. So go to Excel, type equals to method name, open bracket, type the full name in double quotes and press enter, and it will give you the first name. Now in this way, you can create custom functions in VBA. To call any function or sub procedure from another function or subprocedure, call keyword is used. For example, in show data, call keyword, function name, first name, and in the bracket, we are passing employee name. Function first name returns a value, and to show the return value, we can either use message box or can assign the value to a variable. To show the return value in message box, remove the call and type message box before the function name. Now in Excel sheet, when you press show details button, it will show the first name in message box. Till now, we have used message box to display the information. We can use message box to interact with user, and for that we have to use message box as a function which will return a value. In user form, currently clear contain button is used to clear the form data. Now to ask the user before taking action, we can add message box as a function in clear data subprocedure. So in VBA editor, in clear data subprocedure, add message box with message, are you sure to clear the data? The message box will display this message, but we want if user say yes, then only data should be clear. So keep the message in brackets, and after the message within the bracket type comma, and then we can select the buttons available. Now to show yes and no button, select VB yes no, comma. Now type title of the message box, clear data. Now the message box will work as a function and it will return a numeric value corresponding to the button selected. It is difficult to remember the numeric value of button, so VBA provides inbuilt constants for each button. Now in our example, we have used yes and no button, and string constant of these buttons are VB yes and VB no respectively. So we will store the return value in a variable, and before using it we will declare the variable want to del as string. Now this line will show a message box, and based on the user action it will store the button value in variable want to del. Now we want that further statement must be executed when user click yes button. So we need to use conditional statements. Now in VBA, to control the flow based on a condition, if then else statement is used. Before executing, type if and specify the condition using comparison operator and logical operators. Condition is that if variable equals to VB yes, then execute this line, else this subroutine will not perform any action. Close this if statement using and if. Now in user form, press clear contain button and it will show a message box. Press no and the data will remain as is. Press the button again, press yes button, and it will clear the data. We can use multiple if then else statement if we have multiple conditions. To calculate bonus amount, earlier we used a constant for bonus percentage. Now in details tab, a bonus structure is added. To calculate the bonus amount, we will use multiple nested if else statement, because bonus is now depends on the salary amount. So before calculating the bonus, we have to check the salary. In show data procedure, we will check the employee salary, and according to the salary, we will calculate the bonus amount. So if and then specify the condition employee salary is less than or equals to 10,000, then now if this condition is true, the total bonus will be 100% of the employee salary. Else if the second condition is if employee salary is less than or equals to 25,000, then the total bonus will be 50% of employee salary. Else the total bonus will be 30% of employee salary. After writing all these statements, close the if statements using and if, comment the total bonus line which we were using earlier. Now in user form, press show details button and the bonus amount will be calculated according to salary. Here salary is more than 25,000, hence bonus amount is 30% of salary. Change the salary to 10,000 and total bonus will be 100% of salary. Now in VBA, select case statement can also be used as a conditional statement. So in the same example, instead of using if then else statement, we will use select case for calculating the bonus. So first we will comment the line which is showing the first name and we will hide the if statement using the comment block. If this bar is not visible, then right click and select edit. So this is used to comment the block of statements. Now to use the select case, type select case and then employee salary which we want to check. Now this line will check the value of employee salary. Now for condition, we will specify case is less than or equals to 10,000. So this is my first condition. Remember, if you are not using the comparison operators, there is no need to use is. Press enter, total bonus will be 100%. The second case is less than or equals to 25,000. In this case, the total bonus will be the 50% of the employee salary. And third case is greater than 25,000. Then total bonus will be 30% of employee salary. After writing all the condition, close the statement using and select. Now in user form, click show details button. Bonus is 10,000 because it is the 50% of the salary. If I change it to 30,000, which is more than 25,000, press show details and the bonus will be 30% of the salary. If statement can also be used to apply validation. Add data sub-procedure, copy the form values to database sheet. If all the fields are mandatory, then before copying the data, we need to check that no field should be blank. For string values, we will use len method, and for numbers, we will check the value of variables. So name is a string. So we'll apply if statement if the condition 1 is that of employee name, length of employee name is 0, or if employee age, which is a number type value, we'll say if employee age is equal to 0, or similarly I have checked value for each variable and each condition is added with OR operator. If any one of the condition is true, then we will show the message box to user that all fields are mandatory, and we will use exit sub within the if statement. Now close the if statement using and if. Here if statement says that if any of the field is blank, then it will show message box and it will come out from the sub procedure, due to which the further statements will not be executed. These statements will be executed when all the fields have some value. As the if statement is a lengthy expression, so we can use line continuation character to break the lengthy line in small lines. So space and then underscore, press enter. Now the lengthy line is break into two lines. Similarly, we can add other validations also. For example, if age should be in between 18 and 70, then type if employee age is less than 18, or employee age is greater than 70, then we'll show a message box to user age should be between 18 and 70, and we'll use exit sub so that statements to add the data into database sheet should not be executed. Close the if statement using and if. Now, if any of the field is blank and if we press add button, it will show message box all fields are mandatory. And suppose the values are available, but if age is less than 18 or more than 70, and if I press add button, it will show error that age should be between 18 and 70 and data will not be added in the database. Now change the values and press add button. Now the data has added successfully in the database. To search a name in the database sheet, we need to check each name one by one, and if the name found, we need to get the row number of that particular name so that we can retrieve the further information of that user. Loops in VBA allows to go through a set of object or values one by one. Using loop, we can execute specific task for each value. So in VBA, to search, we will create another sub procedure, search name, to find out the total number of rows available in database sheet. Earlier, we have used this method. Now this time we will use another simple method. Count a function in Excel gives the number of cells which contain any data. But count a function is not available in VBA, so we will use worksheet function. To get the total number of rows, we can declare a variable total rows as integer, and in the sub procedure use worksheet function dot count a open bracket. Now to check the number of cells having data in column A, we will use worksheets database dot range a colon A. Now this line will return the number of cells in column A of database sheet which contains any data. Now to check what it returns, we can use message box, press F5 and it returns 8. It means in database sheet we have 8 filled rows. So we will apply a loop from row number 1 to the total rows available, and we'll check whether the name is available in database or not. If available, then we will show the corresponding information in further cells. So to apply a loop, we will use for next statements. So type for, then use a variable row number starting from 1 to total rows, and it will finish by next statement. This statement will run a loop from row number 1 to the total rows, which is currently 8. Now we will declare the variable row number as integer. Now in the loop, for each row number, we will compare the cell C2 value with the names which is stored in column A one by one. To compare the strings in VBA, we use strComp function, which takes two parameters, and if both the strings are equal, the function returns 0. So before compare, we will store the name available in C2 cell in a variable employee name, which is already declared at global level. So employee name equals to worksheets user form dot range C2. Now in the loop, we will compare if strComp. The first string is the employee name and second is the name available in the column A of database sheet. So worksheets database dot range and then A ampersand and row number. Then close the bracket for string compare equals to 0. Then, and if both the strings are equal, then we will display the corresponding information of that row in the user form. So worksheets user form dot range. So the next cell is C3 equals to the age is available in column B of the database sheet dot range B ampersand row number. And similarly, copy each column from database sheet into the corresponding cells in user form. Close the if statement using and if. So if the name found, the statement will display the corresponding information in user form and we will exit the loop using exit for. So within if it matches, we'll say exit for, which means that if the name is found in the database sheet, then the for loop will not further execute it. Now in Excel, attach the button with the macro using assign macro. Click OK. Click on search button. It will display the required information. Now we will use the same search functionality before deleting the specific data or to modify the data from the database sheet. To delete the particular cells, we have already created a sub procedure delete data, but earlier it was deleting the third row every time. To delete the specific data, first we will copy the search functionality which we have created. So I'm copying the search functionality. Now here we are identifying the total number of rows available and we will delete the data based on the employee name entered in cell C2 which we have stored in employee name variable. Now while applying the loop when the employee name entered in the cell C2 found in the database sheet, then we will delete the particular row and we will specify the row number. So row number is a variable. We will not use it inside the double quotes. So row number and then use ampersand row number. So now it will delete the specific row. Now before deleting, to take the confirmation from user, we will again use message box as a function. Type message box bracket R. It will delete all details of user ampersand and show the username using the variable, comma. If you want to use the button as well as the image, use plus sign VB exclamation, comma in double quotes for title, type delete user, bracket close. Now store the value in a variable, want to delete equals to. Now we will check the value of the variable. So we'll use if statement again. If want to delete is equal to VB OK, then we will delete the specific row number. Now here we want to add one more functionality. If this specific user not found in the database, then it should display a message. So we will declare one variable dim is available as integer and initially we will mark the value as is available is equal to 0, which means the user not found. If the user found means it will go inside the if loop, will change the parameter value to 1 is available equals to 1. Now after the for loop, we will check the value of is available. If it's 0, we'll show a message box to user that user not found. Close the if statement using and if. Now here also, if the user selected OK and the user is deleted, then we can also show a message box user deleted successfully. Close the internal if statement using and if. In the Excel sheet, if we click on delete button, it will ask it will delete all details of user. If I press cancel button, the user is not deleted. But if we click delete button, OK, it will show message user deleted successfully and data of user Kapil Dev is deleted. Now press the delete button again because the username is not available. It will show message user not found. Now to modify the record, first we need to search the name in the database sheet and have to show the corresponding details in the cells. Create a new sub procedure, sub modify data, and first we have to check if the fields are empty or not. If fields are empty, then we have to ask user to press search button first to check whether the fields are empty or not. We have already created a validation. So we will copy the validation from add data to in the modify data. Now in this we are using the different variables. We'll copy the variables also. Now all the values from the user form sheet are stored in the variable, and then we are checking whether the fields are filled or not. If any field is empty, then we will show the message that first press search button and will exit the subroutine. If all fields in user form are filled, then we will search the name in database sheet, and if the name found, we will modify the data in database sheet. Now we have added search functionality in search name procedure. So we will copy the macros to modify data procedure, copy the variable row number in the beginning of the modify data procedure. Now copy the macro to get the total number of rows available in the database sheet. Copy the for loop in modify data after checking the blank cells in user form. Now in the loop, if name found, then modify the data in database sheet. So remove the existing code and type worksheets database dot range b ampersand row number variable closing bracket equals to worksheets user form dot range c3. Now similarly, write macros to update other corresponding values in database sheet. Now in the same functionality, to check whether the user found, declare a variable is available as integer and assign value 0, which indicates that user not found. Within the loop, in the if statement, if the user found, then change the value of variable is available to 1. Now, after finishing the loop, check the value of is available. So type if is available is equal to 0, then display message that user not found, else message data modified successfully. Close the if statement using end if. Now in user form, attach the macro to modify button. Right click on modify button, select assign macro and select modify data. Click OK. Now in user form, the fields are blank. Click modify. It will display message. First press search button. Press search button and it will display the related details of the user. Now modify the details. So I'm updating the salary and mobile and press modify button. Now it will show message that details are modified successfully. So in the database sheet, details of user Saurabh Jain is updated. Now we have added all the required functionalities in user form. We can add other features which you need to complete as assignment. In first assignment, calculate the tax as per the details given. Create a function which takes employee salary as argument and returns total tax after the calculation. You can use this function as a custom function. In second assignment, add these validation in user form. Salary can't be negative. Email should contain at the rate and spaces should not be available in email ID. And mobile number should be of 10 digits. The third assignment is in add data procedure. Before adding data in database sheet, check if the user is already available or not. If available, show message that duplicate names are not allowed and don't execute add functionality. So in this video, we have learned about the custom functions, worksheet functions, operators, loops, and control statements, and we have added functionality to search, delete, and modify button. If you like the content, press thumbs up and share your feedback, suggestions, and queries in comment section. Subscribe the channel and share with your friends and colleagues. Thanks for watching.